Hello, everybody. This is Soniv.
And this is WaveofShadow. We are bringing you once again EA versus Google, Game 3 in the AHGL semifinals. This has turned out to be an absolutely fantastic series.
Yep, and the winner of this game will go on to play against Amazon, the champions from last season as well. So that's going to be a really big match.
Oh, Zach Ban.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
EA didn't like
Hey,
it.
man, Zach did so much last game. He
Yeah, he
just
did.
caused so much disruption, and his death passive is ridiculous.
It's pretty. I love just watching it happen. It's just like little blobs, going off to the four corners of the earth, and they slowly move their way back in. And you got to choose. You want to kill them? You want to kill other people? What do you do? It's getting late. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
I'll try not to judge you.
All right.
Yeah, but it is the same bands. Otherwise, I mean, Akali for Gasty, Rumble top. I'm assuming that is against Naravar, or not Naravar, rather. Frozen Fire. Yes, Frozen Fire does play in Rumble, and then Zyro targeted against Messiah. Yeah, they just don't want to play against him, man.
I was thinking of making a Messiah joke against something about Twisted Fate, but
See, now I hear it every time, and I'm like, crap. It's like so obvious.
yeah,
Elise ban, yep.
that's pretty. Oh, and there's the Kale ban once again. Okay,
Yep.
so
EA really not wanting to play against Kale at all.
and again, neither team looking to ban out Vi, which is Tristana again.
Oh, but it's
so
for Tomato Orange.
yeah, it is. So I mean, this is again. Are we going to see the curse of Tristana?
We may. Well, don't necessarily say that. EA won with Tristana first game, but she wasn't the one necessarily carrying.
That's true. That's a good point. So I guess I can't. I'm not allowed to make up a thing just yet. So and there's the Vi pick. So
Yep,
looking as though Zyro going to grab Vi this time around. I'm surprised that no one looking to ban Vi's. It looks as though either team thinking they can deal with it. Yeah.
Grab her and deal with it. And yeah, there's just so many other champions that they want to ban. I mean, you see Vi banned a lot in solo queue, but in team games like this, where you're coordinating and you've done your research, you know what the other team plays really well. You're obviously going to ban Akali and Rumble, and Zyro was just a reactionary ban from first game. So I mean, they're being flexible with their bans and not necessarily banning Vi just because Zyro and Ravenite play them.
Yep. So I mean, I'm wondering, are we going to see what are we going to see from Raven at this? So now that Zach's banned and he doesn't have Vi, what is he going to choose when he sees something like Xin Zhao from him?
Yeah, so Zhao's up, Jarvan's up. There's still a few good options that he can
Pony?
grab.
Pony?
Oh, we could definitely see Pony. Pony is getting very, very popular. Or Nasus jungle as well.
I think we were talking about this yesterday. I can't make it work.
Yeah, neither
But I'm
can
bad,
I.
but I mean, it seems as though, I mean, Nasus has incredible utility. He's got that armor shred, he's got wither. But you essentially have to decide, are you going to try and, focus on farming up your Q and actually being a damage threat to mid and late game? Or are you going to just play that utility role, gank with wither and that armor shred a lot? And it just seems as though there's multiple paths you can try and take for it, and I don't know. It's very difficult to optimize, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I really haven't done enough research on it myself to know how to do it, but it's obviously good. Diamond Prox has had so much success in the EU LCS that it's trickled into NA. Nasus has picked so much lately. It's ridiculous. So it's obviously good. I just don't know how to make it good.
Kind of like Karma, right?
Hey, Karma's not obviously good.
So she's obviously bad?
No.
You walked into that.
No.
You walked into it. You can't. Like, what did you want me to do? I had to take
Google,
it.
save me. Pick something.
No, there's no escape. There's no escape.
I'm wondering if we're going to see Bigglebuns resort to his misfortune that we've seen him play so well.
I was going to say, you know what I haven't seen? Oh, there's Zen and Sona. And I was going to say, we haven't seen, they didn't really attempt to run an AoE comp.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. With the AoE comp, you usually grab a Mumu, right? Which I really do think a Mumu is still very good. But the meta has changed for junglers to be more carry junglers as opposed to the supporty, utility junglers that like a Mumu or Nautilus or Maokai are.
Yeah.
And I know I said that earlier on, but I mean I think that's why the AoE comp really isn't as popular. But I know in the past that was one of our first games we cast with them. They had that ridiculous AoE hell comp that they destroyed with,
and it worked really, really well for them. So Yorick again.
EA loving that Yorick and Caitlyn.
So instead, it's going to be instead of that Yorick Trist, because I mean, obviously, Tristana obviously already picked, so it's going to be Caitlyn's going to be that AD carry that go-to AD carry now, and no longer looking for that obvious, oh my God, wait till super late game when double AD carry OP. But I mean, again, just I feel like the Yorick pick, it just doesn't offer enough in the early mid game to justify trying to plan for a late game like that.
Well, I think what they're going for with that is they want to do the same sort of thing they did last game with the Yorick Tristana, but Tristana wasn't strong enough mid game to really take advantage of it when they needed it. So they're going to be looking to use Caitlyn's really, really strong mid game and early game to just compound that Yorick ultimate. But also, EA is now purple side. They may be looking to lane swap, and they may want to use Yorick as their 1v2.
Yeah, and then I mean the thing is, if they're going to do a 1v2, they're now got Caitlyn Lulu in the 1v2 lane. Maybe now that they sort of see the 1v2 coming, we're actually going to see something from Google that does a better job of combating that.
Possibly. Although I know Malphite is picked sometimes in 1v2s, but he is just his ultimate is good regardless of his farm.
Yeah. I think the go-to 1v2 used to be Olaf until he was nerfed, right?
Yes. Yes, I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're gonna have to see. I wonder if Google is gonna realize that they need to prep. Yep, there it goes. It's gonna be the Malphite and Orianna. Oh, good lord. Okay, so we've got a little bit of an AoE hell comp coming from Google now. Malphite, Orianna, Sinzao, Sona, and then Tristana just sitting in the back, laughing as everyone dies.
Yeah, and you know what? Definitely, this is again. These have been games where it's not coming down to champion select. In my opinion, it really could go to either team. Yes, Malphite Orianna combo with Xin at the front is going to be very, very strong for Tristana to sit back, but I mean, the Yorick Caitlyn could definitely work out very, 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 very well for them. Caitlyn and Lulu very, very strong in lane, very, very abusive, able to wave clear extremely quickly. Vi is able to dive in. Yorick, again, able to keep people alive. Now we're just waiting to see who is that mid pick going to be to combat Orianna.
I don't know. Could we see another Lux? I mean, Gatsby.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Lux is still up. Oh. You just ruined it for me. That's
Oh, nice. We get to see one of Gassy's specialists. Katarina with that assassin. We saw him do quite well with Kha'Zix mid, so he's gonna go back to that assassin. I mean, he's good at Lux, but I mean, he may not have been completely comfortable. He's gonna go back to what he loves.
And here's there is one problem now I see with EA's team comp, and that's a considerable lack of CC.
Mm-hmm.
And that might turn out. I mean, considering they're going to be fighting against the Malphite Orianna combo, that may end up biting them in the bum.
Yeah, they are going for that sheer straight damage early on.
But I mean, that's something EA is very, very good at. So if they can make that early game, really, really happen, they may not need to rely on the Yorick late game. And if Gasty, gets all of his early game roaming and ganks off, then it may very well be enough for them. So I think we should be getting into the game any second now. That was the last pick, right?
Yeah, it was. They're just hanging out. They're making us.
Oh, I was just wondering.
Poke the bear a little bit. Hey, you guys, you awake? You there? I know it's late, but come on.
Okay, they're ready. There we go.
Okay,
all right.
there we go.
All right.
Alrighty.
Poking the bear.
Oh, not the one I wanted. Not the. Okay, there we go. Katarina really is a scary champion to play against. You can do really well against her in lane, but then she can just build a little bit of damage and get some tankiness, and she gets the resets, and it's awful. Ugh. I hate trying to play against the Katarina because she can just go elsewhere and get the kills.
Yeah, and that's what Gasty is going to be looking to do. I mean, it's going to make that 2v1 sort of the 1v2 dive. Normally, where they'd have the jungler come into 1v3, Gasty could very, very quickly and easily turn that into 1v4, making it impossible for the one-man laner to survive that. And that one person going to be Frozen Fire, and he's going to be in a lot of danger from a dive.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really do think that I like the Yorick pick in the 1v2 lane because obviously Nerevar knows how to handle the 2v1 because he did really, really well last game. Despite, a little bit, I mean, he did lose his tower, obviously, and I mean, the game didn't quite work out, but I mean, Nerevar was a good fixture for that top lane. So now I'm assuming we're going to see him bottom in that 1v2.
Yep, definitely so. So I'm wondering now, I mean, Raven likes playing fairly aggressive jungler, fairly abusive. That's something Xin is very, very good at. Very, very strong early on. Transitions well into the mid and late game with just a locket. But I think he's really going to have to try and put that pressure on Gasty to keep him honest and to keep him from roaming wherever he wants all game.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be key, especially against KT Flash on Orianna. I mean, Orianna's good at wave clear, but she's not going to be nearly as good as Katarina for roaming, and that's really, I mean, you said it earlier that EA is really good at that early game, killing people, snowballing that early game quickly, and Katarina's going to be tailored really, really well for that.
Yeah, definitely so. So, just finishing up all the picks now. We're going to be getting into the game in just a few minutes, and let's discuss. I think we sort of went over the team fight like in a little bit of detail, but let's go a little bit more in depth. What are we going to see coming into the transition from mid into late game? What are we going to have to see in terms of engages? Obviously, I know we're going to have to see from Google. It's going to be that Malphite Orianna or Xin Orianna combo. But what are we going to have to see from EA to pull off a team fight that they want?
Well, it's going to be really dependent on how the early game goes, because if EA gets a good enough early game, then they won't be as scared of Frozen Fire's Initiate and Yarius Ultimate and all that. I mean, it's still going to be scary, but it's going to be probably manageable. If EA falls behind, there's not going to be much they can do, because Google is going to be able to force objectives and force team fights where they want them. Again, it's going to be execution early on, and whatever team can, fight better and get that early lead is probably going to be fairly comfortable going in. Now, that's not to say that EA shouldn't be afraid of the AoE comp, an AoE initiation comp, like, say, 25 minutes into the game, because it's going to be ridiculous. So that's going to be really good for Zyril to dive in. We saw him last game, could dive in and get out somehow miraculously with his life, and distract Flash and Tomato Orange, while maybe Messiah and Nerevar sit back, protect Bigglebuns, and then Gasty running around spinning and killing people.
I just have a vision of like Gasty sitting at home on his computer, and just spinning around in his room. just the mental. I don't know. I'm sick, and
it's the fever. It's the fever.
It is. Oh, I feel. Oh my God. EA and Google. I love you guys, but I feel so good.
Alright, so we can finally see the summoners. We do see Bigglebuns and Tomato Orange both opting for the barrier this time.
And we actually do see teleport from both top laners this time. So that's going to be something a little bit different. We haven't seen that in either of the first two games thus far. So that's going to change the dynamic of the laning and eventual, possible split pushing later on.
Yeah, and I mean, I like the way that Nerevar used it last game, where EA invaded on Google's blue, got the kill on Ravenite, and then Nerevar teleported top and was able to sit there for quite a while and protect the tower against Tomato Orange and Yarius. So I like the way that he used that, and Frozen Fire is now going to be top lane. So that teleport is going to be really useful for just switching, any sort of aggression that Bigglebuns and Messiah are putting on.
Well, it's also going to make dragon fights early on especially dangerous, because I think Frozen Fire, as soon as he hits 6, is going to have a huge, huge threat advantage in those dragon fights, I think. So, I mean, not to say that, the ult from Nerevar is not going to be a big deal, but certainly Biggleman's not going to be all that strong, being probably only, a level 4 or 5 AD carry by the time the first dragon fight may come around, so.
Yeah, that level 6 is certainly going to be key, especially if he can combine it with Flash's ult, with the command Shockwave, and just get a team fight early on. That's going to probably be what Google's going to want to do as soon as possible. I mean, EA, I don't know if they may not want to contest that first dragon, just because the team fight from Google is really scary.
Well, I mean, it really just depends on what happens around the game before that. If EA can, force a dragon in terms of, sending some laners back or getting a couple early kills and finding an advantageous time to do that, and that's definitely what I would think they're going to want to do, like you said, rather than force a team fight. So
I'm not sure if we're going to see any sort of invade here. Both teams have fairly weak invades. There's really no CC coming out from EA, as you mentioned before. So I'm assuming, I'm going to just go out and assume that both teams are going to sit in their base. If Bigglebun's going to toss out his traps, KT Flash can toss out his balls, and they can see if any invades are coming. I don't know where I was. My thought just stopped.
No, but I mean that's a safe enough call. I mean, it's certainly seems as though, like, I mean, if one team is going to invade, it's EA is more likely to, just based on their style, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I mean, especially, Google got caught by it big time last game, but in the end it didn't really pay off. So, we're going to see. Does EA really want to try to make that happen again? Is it going to be worth it for them? We'll see.
Yep, and we are about to get into this game for Game 3. Winner takes all into the finals. EA versus Google. Let's see what happens.
Yep, definitely so. And we're just waiting on my favorite part. Waiting on my favorite part, and that is skin analysis. And there it is. Okay, so.
Nope. No. Alright, I know who wins.
Who wins?
EA. Red card Katarina, man.
Why?
Because it's red card Katarina.
What about Stone Chaos Oriana and Glacial Malphite?
Oh, I love both of those. And Firefighter.
Nope. I'm giving it to Google.
No.
I'm giving it to Google. They have 5 skins.
No, I don't care.
5 skin team.
Whatever. You're wrong.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
I don't know. I don't know why we find that so entertaining, but
I don't know. I find it entertaining. I think you mostly just play along and humor me. Does that seem accurate? I think it does. Anyway, the fact that you're not talking to me probably means you're having mic issues again, so fix it. Anyway, just getting into this game right now. We're just seeing both teams again. The ping's going down a little bit. I don't know how much aggression we're actually going to see in the end. But,
okay.
Oh, there you go.
Sorry.
Yep, I can hear you. Is your mic fixed now?
Should be.
Yep, alright.
Alright.
Still refuse to get a new mic. Casting these big, huge tournaments, $5,000 on the line, won't get a new mic.
Scrub, I know. EA just dancing around mid. The ward actually going down. It is a. I don't know if that's an Explorer ward. I can't actually. I can't see the timer on it.
No, it doesn't say. Well, you can see who dropped it. So.
Yeah, I wasn't looking. No, it was not an Explorer ward because someone
No.
still has theirs. Okay. Yep, and EA just gonna hang out in their jungle, and yeah, as I predicted, no one really wants to make anything happen right now.
No, both teams perfectly content to play it safe. Looking at the start from Nerevar, he's got 7 mana pots and 2 health pots. He's going to rely on the sustain from his Omen of Death, is it? Omen of Famine.
I don't know. The omens, the goals.
Them ghouls. He's going to rely on the sustain from them ghouls to stay alive and just be able to spam them.
And it actually looks like we're not going to see a lane swap. I think Nerevar and Frozen Fire are going to be top versus each other once again. It may have been just some nice little mind games from EA there. So it's going to actually be Lulu and Caitlyn versus Sona and Tristana. I'm not sure. I think Lulu Caitlyn has the advantage in that lane.
Likely. But again, I think it's just going to come down to, see how it plays. I think this might be exactly what EA wants because, if they can get that advantage early on, they can try and orchestrate those dives. Again, the pushing power from Lulu Caitlyn's so very, very strong. And if they can, clear up enough room for Gasti to come down, a teleport gank maybe from Nerevar, we might be able to see that early game advantage that EA really wants.
Yeah, we're going to definitely want to see a lot of wards coming out from EA because, as you said, Caitlyn Lulu pushes very hard, and Ravenite is going to be able to gank really, really well, and Xin Zhao ganks are terrifying as it is, so, Orange just walking straight up into Messiah's face and then not caring.
Nope, and just, again, just some trades going around. Ravenite going to go up and take his blue buff. Zyro going to go take red buff, and I think maybe both of them are going to rotate. We're going to see where the first gank is going to appear. Zyro tending to favor a top lane gank first, and so here he's going to head over. No wards here yet, and Frozen Fire only level 2 to Zyro's level 3, so we're going to see, is something actually going to be able to happen here? And a little late in coming up Ravenite, Zyro needs to go in really, really soon, or he's going to get caught by the incoming Xin Zhao. Here he comes. He's landing that Vault Breaker, doing a little bit of damage, and but Frozen Fire being so close to the dirt doesn't even have to blow Flash yet.
Yeah, Ravenite did come up, but he was a little bit low, had far less health than both Nerevar and Zyro. Oh, Zyro getting caught out by that ward. And now Ravenite wants to go mid, get a little pressure onto Gasti, make sure this Katarina doesn't get a little too cheeky, too much pressure. And Gasti is just going to keep farming as much as he can. Zyro completely failing a jump over that Baron wall. I hate when that happens, and I'm so glad that I caught it because it was hilarious to watch. That's
not the first time that's happened to him, huh?
Nope, it happened last game, actually.
That is a shame. Anyway, Zyro looking again to exert that pressure. Ravenite instead looking to farm, not seeing a whole lot of advantages. KT Flash saw that coming, and just chose to flush Zyro out.
Yeah, Zyro pushing really hard up top. Frozen Fire being pinned against this turret.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to be doing on Yorick real early in the 1v1 lane.
Yeah, and he's got the ward down, so he's really not going to be afraid of Raven Knight at all. And Raven Knight is now bottom lane, and Yarius and Tomato Orange are pushing really hard. That's going to be that natural push coming out from Tristana just because of the explosive shot.
And Frozen Fire is actually out of health pots now, so I mean he's going to be in real danger eventually, being forced back and being pushed way behind the lane. And this is just what's so dangerous about a Yorick lane early. If he can shut down Malphite hard enough, eventually they may be able to enter into those team fights exactly like they want. Really, oh, the engage going on. Raven Knight getting in there. The flash and exhaust blown. Raven Knight blowing his flash, able to get the knockoff on Biggle Buns. We need just another couple auto attacks. Oh, there's the flash and the final auto attack. Tomato Orange going to get it down. Are they going to get a second kill? The flash from Messiah as well, and a really well orchestrated gank.
Wow!
Oh wow!
Getting the double kill with that explosive shot.
I did not see that coming.
That's so much burn
I didn't realize
damage.
it was on there.
Yep, he did have level 2 on that explosive shot, so that's going to be a bunch of damage on this bottom turret. And it looks like
That's
Zyril,
big trouble for EA.
yeah, it is. Zyril coming down, or coming up to top lane, wants to probably orchestrate a gank here. He knows Frozen Fire is out of health potions. He's going to want to engage on this, but this bottom turret's actually going to go down.
Yeah, the option to take that real early and then to switch up top and shut down Nerevar because Frozen Fire is having a lot of trouble. Zyril, I mean, this could be a pretty good gank top lane, but Frozen Fire does still have flash, so I mean, I don't know that Frozen Fire, unless he pushes up real far, is in huge danger. Here comes the Vault Breaker coming in, does miss it, and there's a flash on top of Frozen Fire who will escape the gank. And Zyril just sort of, I mean, able to blow flash, but not nearly as good a gank as what happened bottom lane.
Yeah, that double kill for Tristana is going to be really, really scary for EA to deal with. Now Bigglebuns now has, I mean, his tower's down. He can pretty much free farm right now. As long as they get some wards up, they don't have to worry about really heavy invades. But, I mean, that bottom tower being down means that, yeah, Tomato Orange and Yarius can exert a lot of pressure elsewhere. But it looks like they may just be opting to go back bottom, get a bit more pressure. Nerevar out of mana, needs to keep chugging those potions. Frozen Fire really low. Needs to be really careful.
Yeah, I'm partially surprised that they're deciding not to head top lane to try and deal with Nerevar, but at the same time, that would mean that Frozen Fire is going to be stuck dealing with that Caitlyn Lulu lane, which I don't think Frozen Fire wants to have to deal with either.
Yeah,
he's probably going to have an easier time dealing with Nerevar than he would with the two of them. So
yeah, it's kind of a catch-22, and unfortunately, I mean, Tomato Orange could not get a whole bunch of AD. I mean, he got that longsword, he got that Vamp Scepter on top of the Dorn's blade that he already had, so his advantage isn't huge. And Bigglebuns is farming really well. He's still ahead. He's down about 600 gold, which is really, really big 6 minutes into the game, but it could be much worse.
yeah, I mean, that's actually, I mean, the good thing, Bigglebun's actually being forced to pick up a second Doran's Blade, which is something you don't really see as often anymore, because it really sets you pretty far behind. Doran's Blade is very, very good in the early game once again. You see a lot of AD carries just starting the Doran's Blade alone, because each auto attack does grant you that 5 health. But a second one means you're going to be set pretty far behind in comparison to the AD carry, again, who just picked up 2 kills.
Yeah, Gasty is probably going to want to try and roam bottom. It looks like that's exactly what he's going to do right now. There are no wards from Google to see this coming. Gasty going to walk, right by where Raven Knight may have been coming, and this gank is going to happen.
Yeah, but I'm not really sure. There's a whole minion wave incoming. Tomato Orange is definitely going to be able to jump out in time. We're going to be able to make that happen. There's the damage going down. Tomato Orange is able to jump out, and that's going to be the end of that gank for now. And, I mean, again, just looking as though Google playing very, very well and, sort of seeing these ganks coming and, making sure that they're not in any real danger of dying, while at the same time just attempting to keep up even in farm.
Yeah, but see, that gank wasn't, I mean, even though it didn't work, it wasn't really a bad thing to happen, because it gave Bigglebuns and Messiah a little bit more breathing room. They can now push this to turret, and they can, keep poking as much as they really want to. I mean, Caitlyn is still stronger than Tristana early lane, even with those 2 kills. It's still going to be a little difficult for Tomato Orange to deal with. And, I mean, Frozen Fire actually having to go back again. He still has his teleport, so he may be looking, he is level 6, to make something happen bot lane. I would be surprised if he doesn't. He's actually just going to walk top lane. Why are you making me a liar, man? Come on.
Bottom lane, Raven Knight coming through the bottom. We're going to see if he's going to try, he's basically sitting on a ward, so, I mean, they know that nothing's going to come of that. They did learn their lesson the first time, so Raven Knight is going to try to make some kills happen elsewhere. They're going to try to make something happen to Gasty, but once again, it's going to be really, really hard to gank Katarina. I'm thinking maybe Raven Knight would do better attempting to gank top lane.
Zyrul is going to go grab that blue really quick, stealing that from KT Flash, which is really interesting actually because he must have seen, KT Flash must have seen Zyrul walk into that general area because he tossed his ball over the wall to see if the blue was there, and it was, so he went back to lane. Unfortunately, Zyrul snuck right in and grabbed it once Flash was back in lane.
Yeah, and an Orianna without blue buff, actually, I mean, again, we saw something similar, and I think it was once again it was a game that Boley was in, actually, was playing Xin, I think, and they were just so aggressive. They didn't let the Orianna in that game, I can't remember who it was at the time, pick up a blue buff almost the entire game, and it was just absolutely brutal for that Orianna, just shut down from the start.
Yep, it was Liquid 112. He had a really,
oh, that's right.
Or
yes.
no, it was Link. Was Link playing mid?
Link? No, it wasn't Link.
I don't know.
I think
it was Liquid.
I think it was Liquid.
And they really did just put a complete stranglehold on Curse in that game. But, I mean, yeah, I don't know what I was going to say, but Frozen Fire now, I mean, he's still having a little bit of a tough time against Nerevar top. I mean, he is doing better. He's got the Chalice. He's got some regen now. He can sort of deal with it a bit more. But Nerevar does have that Tear of the Goddess, and he can keep spamming those abilities.
Yeah, look at both teams now sort of attempting to gravitate towards the Dragon area. Zyril attempting maybe to go in on top of Ravenite, but he would have gotten sandwiched in from the bottom from Yaris and Tomato Orange, and so now Gasti sort of having to escape, and now looking as though Zyril almost getting caught, and they're sort of rotating around. Maybe the threat of Dragon coming up, they want to see if they can bait something into happening. Both top laners still having their teleport, can get down there in a moment's notice. But again, we're just going to have to sort of see how that goes. Does either team really want to force a fight right now?
Yeah, I mean, even though Google is a bit ahead, I don't think they really want to fight this right now. I mean, Katarina's still going to be scary, and that's something they're going to have to worry about. So, and Tomato Orange still hasn't gone back to buy. He's got 1,500 gold in the bank. So, I mean, he's really not going to be strong enough to deal with it right now.
Yep, definitely so. And again, just still both teams, like, they're really looking as though Google really just wanting to threaten. Like, they want to just try and see if they can make sure that EA knows that, well, if you guys leave, we might just go, oh, the teleport actually coming down. But Ravenite stepping on the trap, they're actually going to see Frozen Fire. They're going to try and go in, missing the flash, actually missing Frozen Fire, missing his unstoppable force. Biggleman's able to escape, and that teleport gank is going to cause a lot of trouble now because. And here we go, Zyril coming over the wall, landing on top of Frozen Fire. Frozen Fire having to flash out there, so it was Cassie picking up that kill, getting the reset, and now we're going to see maybe a kill on Ravenite. Can he get it? Can Gasti escape? No, Gasti goes down. Tomato Orange picking up that kill. Is Zyril going to be able to pick up Tomato Orange? No, Tomato Orange is able to escape, and now Yarius is under fire, and KT Flash having to escape. And I'm honestly, like, that really, like, it could have... Oh, no, Nerevar flashing over the wall. Tomato Orange now needs running for his life. Is almost completely out of mana. I think one more attack from one of those ghouls, and that might just be a Nerevar needs to spam one more of them. Oh, the flash! Not the flash, the jump. Sorry.
Oh,
no,
and
the
doesn't
matter.
Oh, ace in the hole. I'm thinking that Nerevar wanted to try and give that kill to Bigglebuns as much as possible. That's why he waited for the ghoul so long.
Okay, I was wondering. I was going to say, like, that ghoul is definitely off a cooldown. But anyway, so that's going to be a dragon. And, I mean, the kills are even right now. Sorry, not the kills. The gold score is even right now, but it looks as though EA is actually going to be able to extend the lead, or create a lead, sorry, by picking up this dragon. And just a little bit of an unfortunate flub of the ult by Frozen Fire, creating that advantage for EA.
Yeah, well, it was good from Bigglebuns to know, obviously, that ultimate was coming, so he did flash, and yeah, if Frozen Fire just held on to it a little bit longer, it would have been a terrible, terrible fight for EA. And I'm not sure this tower is more than likely going to go down without any, yeah, it is, without any contention. But I'm not sure if you noticed, but Gasti was knocked out of the crescendo by Tomato Orange's ultimate. And that really let Gasti keep doing a bunch more damage, and that certainly helped extend the fight lead. Zyril
once again, Zyril failing to go over the wall is going to take a lot of damage, actually having to blow a flash. That's going to suck a little bit.
Yeah, that's one of those things you never want to do. He was panicking a little bit and released it just before it was going to go long enough for him to actually escape that.
Yep, and so now rotating bottom lane, Tomato Orange is behind a little bit in farm, but is definitely ahead in gold by about 500, increasing that lead now to 600. And I mean, again, that Tristana being ahead in gold definitely going to help out Google, but I mean, EA picking up that gold lead, are they going to be able to, or is Google going to be able to come up from behind and sort of, make something happen now that they're, oh, actually, I was going to say, never mind, the turret actually pulled Google ahead. What am I saying?
It's okay. Reading's hard sometimes.
Yeah, too many things. Too many things going on. What can you do?
Tomato Orange does have that Blade Lunar King already, while Buns is still sitting on not a complete item. He is working towards that Infinity Edge, so he's going to be trying to get that early on, so that the ultimate from Nerevar will be able to, make a huge impact in those mid-game team fights. So it's really going to be up to Buns firing his ace in the hole onto Tomato Orange, blocked by Yarius, just trying to be a nuisance, just get some damage out, and Gasty is going to come try bottom.
Yep, and I mean, again, no wards really for Google. They're not going to see that coming. They sort of know that something's up, and there's the jump now from Tomato Orange, who does not have his flash up, so if they can create the proper pressure, Gasty can get down there, who's actually going to walk through the ward. Had he gone down from the bottom lane originally, Bigglebun's eating a lot of damage right now from Tomato Orange, but had he gone straight down and gone for the dive, they might have been able to try and pick up something. I suppose Tomato Orange would probably have reactionary, got their reactionary ults off, but, I mean, coming down, just sort of wasting a little bit of time now, Gasty's going to be put a little bit behind.
Yep, while Gasty was doing that, Ravenite is pushing mid, which is exactly what you want to do against an assassin who is roaming a lot. You want to just push and make sure that they get punished for it. But unfortunately, I mean, this mid tower is already gone, so he couldn't quite get any creeps denied. But it looks like Flash and Ravenite are going to come up and gank Zyrule and Nerevar. So it's going to be a 3v2 up here, but you have to remember, it is Yorick, so it is actually a 3v3.
Yeah, and I mean, Zyrule's nearby. He's not really at the turret. They're looking to dive right now. There we go. There's the damage going down. Nerevar already chunked to half health. Is he going to bother? He is going to bother ulting himself. I would argue that there was pretty much no point. Like, they're going to get out completely scot-free there, and Nerevar will have wasted his ult. That is not going to be down for the next team fight in which they need it.
Yeah, that was a bit of a panic. Oh, but we do see Gasty coming up. I don't really think this is a very good idea because, I mean, it is warded. They know he's there. And there's no more Yorick, so there's going to be 3v2 at this tower. Oh, Gasty getting jumped on by Ravenite.
Oh my god, the combo. Ravenite had doing so much damage. Frozen Fire trying to get that ult off. KT Flash able to get out. Gasty is going to go down. Zyrule able to get that Vault Breaker off to get that kill. But, I mean, they're going to lose 2 people. And I don't think they're going to be able to get a turret. They're a little too low to try and take on Zyrule.
Yeah. And Zyrule actually doing a really good job of following KT Flash and making sure he picked up that kill. It was unfortunate. Gasty, I don't really think he expected that to be warded. Ravenite just jumped right in onto him, and Gasty had to react. He had to do something, and he jumped right for KT Flash, and didn't quite work out. Yeah,
no, I would argue Google's doing a very, very good job of making sure that Gasty's not able to sort of get off what he's sort of known to be good for, than those, those roaming ganks, and they've basically seen him pretty much every single time he's come, and not allowed him to get those surprise ganks off.
Yeah, and that is really what you need to do, but it's still going to be something they need to worry about in team fights. They're going to not only have to deal with a Katarina, who is ridiculous in team fights, but also 2 Bigglebunses. And that's really just going to be something that they're not going to want to have to deal with, and it's going to come down to the initiation from Frozen Fire, I believe.
Yep, definitely, and that's pretty much almost what every game came down to. Frozen Fire initiation has been, as Aurelia in the first game, and last game as well, so.
Yep, and now we see Nerevar coming back top. He wants to protect this tower. I think Dragon is going to be up fairly soon, within a couple minutes. And both top teleports, both Frozen Fire and Nerevar have that teleport, so they're going to be able to get to that fight if they need to.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I'm not sure that, yes, EA did win the last fight around there, but I would think, again, it's only sort of because of that missed Malphite ult. I don't know that they can count on that again. I don't think it's a fight that they really want to start.
Yep, and I mean, the gold lead is really only 600 in favor of Google, so I mean, EA is doing a good job, despite being down 2 kills and 2 towers. They're doing a good job of staying in it.
Yeah, they most certainly are. Nerevar opting to do a little bit of damage to 30. He actually might get this. I don't know if Frozen Fire's not going to be able to get here in time. Nerevar, he is. Nerevar just chose to back off. He really could have just stuck around, but I guess he's sort of worried about the burst from Frozen Fire being enough to take him out. I'm not so sure he needed to worry about that.
Oh, Zyrule walking right into 4 members.
Oh, Zyrule barely able to get out. That was...
Oh, KT Flash, why? He used his shockwave on himself.
These are, Oh, there's an ultimate going over Bigglebun's. Yari's blocking that now. Here come the teleports on. Is that both the teleports? There's a good crescendo, but it's not going to be enough. Zyrule getting in on top of all of them because they're chasing down Yaris. Messiah and Nerevar. KT Flash picking up that kill on Zyrule, and now Ravenite's going to be the next to go down, getting that kill on Ravenite. And Tomato Orange going to be the next one. Gasty getting all those resets. He's going to be able to pick up another one. And there we go. Bigglebun's picking that one up. And this is going to be a dragon for EA.
Yeah, Gasty wanted to keep pursuing that. KT Flash is hanging out in this bush. He wants to try and make this happen.
Yeah, but he doesn't really have... He doesn't have an ult or anything. So he's going to get killed.
No, he may not die, but it's going to be very close. Yep, and
right.
EA grabbing that dragon. Nerevar teleporting down was really, really good. Barely got the ultimate off on Bigglebuns, but just before Frozen Fire used his Unstoppable Force on, I think, 3 members from EA. But it's that double Caitlyn, man. That double Bigglebun is just so hard to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, especially, like, they really weren't able to deal with any of the Gasty very, very low. A lot of the damage was Zyril doing an excellent job of diving the back line. You know, there's nothing you can do against Devi who dives like that, because she, you know, using that Vault Breaker and, you know, Assault and Battery, you get way past everyone, and she's tanky enough that, you know, he was diving on top of Yarius and KT Flash. You know, they can do nothing but run once all of their abilities are blown, especially the fact that KT Flash's ultimate was blown earlier and couldn't, you know, add that much damage to the fight as much as he normally would.
Right, and Frozen Fire now getting jumped on by Nerevar, and he's going to get hit by Zyril too, landing that Vault Breaker, but he's so tanky right now, I'm not sure that they can actually get him. He's just going to run away.
I was going to say, he's going to be able to run, but the red buff doing a decent job of slowing him. Are they going to... Oh, there's the ultimate going down. Frozen Fire is not going to be able to protect. There's the ult going down just to make sure that Zyril survives. Frozen Fire is going to go down, and they are going to get a tower off of this.
Zyril's actually going to die. 2 now...
No. Oh.
Wow, that...
Yeah, Raven not getting there in time. There's a good ultimate from KT Flash. I'm actually really... Wow.
That... Yeah, Zyril tanked that way too long. He should have walked out, let his minion, or let his ghost take it, and then they would have been able to take the tower no problem. Instead, actually, both of them falling because Raven Knight and Flash were able to get up there fast enough. Gasty.
Yeah, just barely getting there in time. Gasty's not going to be able to defend this turret on his own. Absolutely no way. He's actually opting to go in right now, doing actually a fair amount of damage. He did a lot more damage than I expected to have on him. I mean, he does have Haunting Guys and most of a death cap, but I mean, I was really like most of Katarina's damage isn't front-loaded onto her ultimate anymore, so I'm actually really surprised that she was able to do quite as much as she did.
Right, well, Gasty was confident that he had the tower on his back, so if KT Flash really attacked him, and this is exactly what happened, he would take turret aggro instead. And Raven Knight actually blew the locket trying to tank, or going into attacking the turret, so I'm pretty sure Gasty waited until that was down, and then just jumped in, unloaded the damage, and I believe Gasty now has, yep, he does have his death cap now, so expect a scary Katarina.
Yep, definitely so. So, I mean, now I'm wondering, like, Gasty hasn't quite been able to get exactly what he wants off. He's been getting, you know, kills and team fights and a lot of assists, so he's got the gold he needs, but EA hasn't exactly had the kind of game they've wanted. So we're going to have to see how is this going to transition. Have they shut down, you know, or have they, you know, delayed Tomato Orange enough to be able to, you know, still make this mid-game happen? Well, or is Tomato Orange going to kick in?
I mean, Tomato Orange is now working on that that Infinity Edge, and it's going to be a little bit before he gets it. So there is this timing window that EA can hit, and it's for the next about 1,300 gold before Tomato Orange is going to have that Infinity Edge. He's going back to grab that pickaxe right now. Actually, no, he's opting to stay instead. Bigglebun's being a very juicy target, and nope, Tomato Orange is going to in fact go back. Gasty he's pinging into their jungle, he wants to get in there, but Raven Knight is there to stop him. I'm not sure if, I mean, Yarius is coming up, he wants to catch him, but yeah, Gasty just going to back right out.
Yep, so again, they're going to sort of try and play it safe. Frozen Fire's in the top lane, he wants to try and get this turret, it's not going to take a lot to do it, going a little bit early, taking some of that turret damage, but this turret is going to go down. The teleports from both top laners are going to go up again. And again, just both teams now just sort of looking to farm up for the next fight. Dragon will be up in, I believe it's going to be 2 minutes from now. So we're probably going to see, again, once again, the next fight is going to happen around that Dragon area. But is it going to happen, like, you know, are we going to see, once again, some more missed ults from Team Google?
Yeah, see, and that's really why EA has been able to stay in these fights so much. It's because these key team ultimates really are just not landing where they should. If there's a coordinated, unstoppable force into Command Shockwave, it's going to absolutely destroy EA's team. But the longer and more often that Google misses these ultimates, it's allowing EA to just keep in this game and still just win these team fights. I mean, despite being down a kill in 2 towers, EA is ahead slightly in gold. 1,000 gold at 23 minutes is not huge, but the way these team fights have been going, Google really should have been winning them. So.
Yep, I definitely agree with that. So again, both teams, there's still a minute for Dragon to spawn. Both teams just sort of posturing, and there's a lot of ward coverage. So I mean, there's, what is it, 6 wards, 7 wards in that sort of lower jungle area. Oh, plus teams. The bushes. I was going to say there's more like 8 or 9, but yeah. So, I mean, no one's going to go anywhere unseen down there. So, I mean, I don't think there are going to be any successful gank attempts for sure. We're just going to see some counter warding. Masai going to get in, try to prevent that pink ward from being taken out, but down it goes. Frozen Fire, there's the group up from Google. There's this little bit of a speed boost. Yarius running into the trap, and so they're not able to catch anybody. But there's the group of 5. This Dragon is going to be up in 30 seconds, and they're already grouped up. But EA knows they still have some time to get down there and try to make something happen if they wanted to.
Yeah, and you could see it in Frozen Fire's eyes. He wanted to engage on that. He's just using his ultimate, the threat of his ultimate, just as a really good barrier, because EA doesn't really want to fight them 5v5 if they can help it. They're doing really well at picking people off, and it's not going to be good if the Unstoppable Force comes through.
Yeah, I'm doing a little bit of turret poking right now. I don't think they're really looking to try and take out the turret now. They're just looking to sort of stall them. Now they know the Dragon is up. They're going to try and rush it really, really quick before EA can get down there. Does Google have enough damage to take it out before EA gets there? I think they very well might. And if they can take it out fast enough and they can turn around on top of EA right as they finish the Dragon, that's going to be huge.
Yeah, this Dragon is going to go down. Yeah, there's the kill.
And they want to try and turn around. Frozen Fire needs a flash ultimate. Oh my goodness, if he could have flashed ultimate in right then and there, the whole enemy team was grouped up. He could have picked up a 5-man Unstoppable Force, and he could have made that an absolutely huge team fight.
EA doing a really, really good job of, they saw Frozen Fire, they were like, okay, scatter now. They were like,
yeah,
we don't want to stay grouped.
Yeah, there's the speed buff, and it's getting a little bit creep block. Frozen Fire hanging out behind that cannon minion. He really looks like they want to engage so hard. There we go. Ravenite catching out Gassy, but Gassy's going to be able to flash at him, no problem. Using his ability, Zyro getting knocked up. That's about it. They're not going to be able to get any engages off of that. They really tried so hard, but EA disengaging very, very well.
Yeah, and that we've seen that. I mean, EA just in game 1, their disengage was so good. I mean, and they don't really have a great disengage composition in this game, but they're still taking control of where they want to fight really, really well. I mean, just being able to scatter as soon as they see Frozen Fire come through, they know that ult wants to come down, and they just want no part of it.
Uh-oh. Looks like ARAM again.
Yes, we love the ARAM.
Oh boy. Time for ARAM.
But I mean, against Orianna, she has great wave clear. I'm not sure this isn't gonna go down. Gassy trying to get up on a Tomato Orange, but not happening. And now we see Frozen Fire coming down again. He wants to make this ultimate happen.
And see, that's the thing. Like, you saw EA pushed out, up to the turret. They sort of knew that Frozen Fire wasn't around there. They're like, okay, Frozen Fire's not here. We don't have to worry about Unstoppable Force. As soon as he comes back, oh god, EA, let's go. Let's get out of here. We don't want to be anywhere near that Malphite.
Exactly. And it is really smart. They want to avoid these team fights as much as possible, and they're doing quite well. Unfortunately, it is allowing Tomato Orange to really, get the damage he wants, and it's not using Caitlyn to her full potential.
No, definitely not. But I mean, again, they're so worried about that Malphite. You can't really use Caitlyn to her full potential because the range at which she auto attacks is, a fair amount less than the range Frozen Fire can engage on top of her. So.
And yeah, we're loving these tower ARAMs, guys. Keep it up. Oh, excuse me. And now Google is going to just push down this tower. They do have this Tristana, so this tower is going to go down quickly if they actually choose to attack it. And yeah, look at how much damage Tomato Orange is doing.
Yeah, Masai and Gassy taking a fair amount of damage from the Orianna ball, and there's an ultimate, landing on absolutely everybody, and there's a 4-man Unstoppable Force, and there's a crescendo. Oh my goodness, that is exactly the team fight that EA was terrified of, and for good reason. Oh my goodness, and once again, Zyro failing to get over the wall. I think he's going to survive this time, but oh my goodness, Marivar trying to get in and trying to make something happen, but it's not going to be enough, and that is going to be a 3-4-0 exchange, and they're probably going to get an inhib off of this.
I would be surprised if they don't. That is the AoE hell comp that Google has been looking for. All KT Flash did was just drop the ball under the turret.
Oh, Zyro. Oh, Zyro. Oh, there's the ultimate going down on top of Yari's, but it's not going to be enough, and that's, Gasty, you could see, like, there were people at low health. He really wanted to get in, and Zyril went in ahead and, thought he could make something happen, but no, it was going to be way too much. The turret went down too early, and he just ended up sacrificing himself to the Google God.
Yeah, there were just so many things for EA to worry about under that tower. I mean, Tomato Orange was taking out the tower very quickly. Frozen Fire was hanging around. Ravenite was hanging around there. KT Flash just dropped the ball. That's all he had to do.
Oh, that was honestly that ultimate was perfect. I mean, I saw the ball there, and the ball was there before, but he just made a slight movement to the right, and that slight movement was all he needed to drag almost the entirety of the EA team in, and make it for possible for a 4-man unstoppable force Frozen Fire ult, and then a crescendo, just locking down EA forever.
Yeah, that was such a good initiation. Now the gold lead is up about 4,000 for Google. They can now force top and bottom lanes. They can swing around. They can maybe force a Baron. They are in a really, really good position right now.
Yep, and I mean, especially now, Tomato Orange does have his eye. He does have Blade of the Ruined King and is well on his way to picking up Phantom Dancer before picking up that Last Whisper. So, I mean, again, Tomato Orange already well on his way to hitting that critical mass, and it's going to mean nothing but trouble for this EA team who did not really hit that early game stride they needed.
Yep, and Tomato Orange, yeah, just walking into the jungle, checking out what's what. Bigglebun's wanting to get that on, but yeah, Yarius now has that Oracle. He's clearing that out. Google's doing a really good job of just taking control of the map right now.
Definitely so. They're just taking out wards they need. They're not going to take any unnecessary risks with Baron, though I would argue they're definitely strong enough that they could probably funnel into that Baron pit and not be in too much danger. Sorry, but again, no unnecessary risks needed. There's a lot of money for some charity on the line. No reason to try and throw the game when you're ahead by this much.
Yeah, well, and this is exactly what they want to do. They want to clear out as many wards as
Frozen
possible.
Fire. I was going to say, if they knew for sure they were in there. Oh, here we go. Are we going to see Frozen Fire ultimate? The ball going on top of Frozen Fire. He really wants to hit this ultimate. They're all grouped up at Frozen Fire. There we go. There's the ultimate landing on top of 3 people and the crescendo. There's once again that AoE triple combo. Ghastly's going to go down now. Zyril trying to make something happen. Tomato Orange positioning extremely well. Going to try to back up. Zyril's going to go down. And Nerevar are going to be the final target. And that is going to be a 5-4-0 ace. And there is not going to be a whole... This actually...
I think this may be the game.
Yeah, I was going to say, they've got super minions. This is going to be it. Yep. This is going to be the end of Game 3. And just that AoE Hellcom proving that, I mean... it's still completely viable. Malphite, Orianna, Sona, hitting their combos like 1, 2, 3 every single time, absolutely took the game for Google. And Google, after going down 1-0, comes back, win 2 more games, and that's going to be it for this series, the semifinals, AHGL.
Yeah, congratulations to Google. You will be taking on Amazon in the finals, so everyone please come back and join whoever is casting that match.
Someone in Riot.
It is going to be Riot, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be someone, and we don't know who it is. Apparently it's not going to be Freakin' Riv, but it's going to be someone else. I think Freakin' Riv did it last year, but... there will be Riot members casting, supposedly, so it's going to be a lot of fun. To speak for HGL, it was really, whether this is our last cast or whether it's not, it was a huge pleasure. Soniv and I had a lot of fun doing it. And if you enjoyed our casting, or if you've watched a lot of the HGL games in the past, vote for us, vote for Sigma Theory. He's a really great guy. Fantastic voice. We talked about him already. Anything else to say, Soniv?
Nah, I think that's it for us. Thank you for watching. I am Soniv.
And I am WaveofShadow, and it was a real pleasure doing all this for you.